Switzerland. The Jura mountain region, the traditional home of watchmaking. It takes 5 factories working together to create one Breitling super factory. Craftsmen, engineers, designers, and technicians take more than a year to build the Chronomat.
The Swiss people are keen to details. We have a kind of craftsmanship, of watchmaker experience here in Switzerland by these people for many generations, which able Switzerland to be the #1 in watchmaking.
Experienced craftsmen and women create the Chronomat's robust case and parentry. The signature hands in Bienne. The super strong bracelet in Le Loc. The distinctive dials in Le Chaux de Fonds. Close by, also in Le Chaux de Fonds, the process all begins at Breitling's celebrated chronometry factory. Here, talented technicians create the heart of the Chronomat, called the movement.
It is the mechanism, the device, the instruments, which is providing the power, all the gears, all the small things required to be able to display on the watch with the hands the time. That's the engine of the watch.
The Chronomat's engine is known as the B01 movement. It's a custom-designed complex system of 346 parts that took Breitling engineers 5 years to develop. Today, it's the best calendar-complete chronograph movement in the world. Powerful, reliable, and 99.9% accurate. It's the foundation of every Chronomat.
We were strong enough, confident enough to put our first mechanical chronograph movement built in-house in our bestseller. So I think Chronomat is really the symbol of the modern Breitling history.
Here's how the Chronomat's mechanical movement works. Energy created by winding is stored inside this barrel by the mainspring. As the energy is released, it's transferred to a set of gears called the wheel train. Now here comes the important part. To display the time very accurately, these gears must turn at a precise rate, and that's the job of what's called the escapement. Within it are 2 critical regulating devices, the balance wheel and a spiral spring that controls its rate, called the hairspring. Together, they establish and fine-tune the rhythm of the watch. Last, laid on top, are functions like the calendar and the stopwatch.
The big challenge we have with mechanical movement, they are functional 24 hours a day. So I thought about a little bit, but I found no other examples except the heart, the human heart, which is achieving this goal, 100% time of functioning for years.
Building the Chronomat's movement takes place in 3 main areas: subassembly, main assembly, and the start of it all, machining. This is where computer-driven digital milling devices, called CNC machines, transform brass blanks into the foundation of the movement, called the main plate. In less than an hour, they drill 55 holes in bridges, performing over 240 individual operations. Next, subassembly. Here's where 20 master technicians pre-assemble individual components. This station is the crown jewel of subassembly. Highly precise robots place tiny rubies onto the main plate. Positioned adjacent to moving parts, they reduce friction and wear and tear and increase durability. Next, it's time to put the movement's components together in main assembly. On this high-tech assembly line, traditional watchmaking skills and ultra-modern technology meet.
Movement is going through 38 positions. Some are automatic, but most of them, more than 28, are manual, where the craftsmanship is very important.
The watchmaker coming out of schools still need about 5 to 6 years to be able to be at the top level we required in our production at Breitling. So it's a lot of training and also experience.
At the first station, a technician installs the Chronomat's wheel train. Next, the barrel containing the power storage unit, the mainspring.
This is the mainspring. The mainspring is 550 millimeters long.
This thin strand of coiled wire stores more than 3 days or 70 total hours of energy. Now a pivotal moment. To fine-tune and control the pace of the movement, watchmaker Denise Billaud drops in the regulating device known as the escapement. With a tiny flick of the balance wheel, tick-tock, the heart begins to beat.
When the movement is coming alive is when you have finally assembled all the different parts, the different components. Everything is ready to start, and it's a kind of magic moment. It's kind of birth of the watch, because it's the first time all the gears are starting to move.
Now for functions like the chronograph and the date. They're built on top of the movement. First, a watchmaker drops in special gears that transfer energy from the balance wheel to the chronograph. Then she attaches a part called the chronograph-going train bridge that holds the parts in place. Next, to display the date, a master builder adds the date ring and engages a tiny tooth. At midnight, the tooth moves the ring forward. This one-of-a-kind patented Breitling system allows any user to change the date at any time, even when the tooth's engaged, without breaking.
This tooth is disengaging itself, so misuse is not possible with our Breitling movement.
Now, at the end of the assembly line, a final touch so important, the entire building is named after it. Chronometry, the science of measuring time. Watchmaker Fatima Pereira ensures the accuracy of the watch by carefully adjusting the rate of the balance wheel. She does this by lengthening or shortening the hairspring and removing tiny amounts of material from the balance wheel.
A final touch that will guarantee that you have the right time every day.
We tried to do that automatically with a machine, but at the end, the machine was a little bit dumb. Our best watchmakers are still the only ones who can do that properly.
And now, the engine of the watch, the movement, is complete.